Well, I'm at the point where I think enough is enough, and I want to talk about the cause, prevention, and cure of cystic fibrosis, muscular dystrophy, and cardiomyopathy heart disease. I want you to get a hold of the book Epigenetics. It tells the story of these diseases. It talks about the story from the beginning to the end, and you'll know names and places and events as they occurred sequentially. And then I want you to get a hold of the new CD, Public Enemy Number 1, which is the CD that goes along with Epigenetics, the book, The Death of the Genetic Theory of Disease Transmission. Also, you should get a hold of the book Rare Earths Forbidden Cures, which goes into a significant amount of the story. And then the DVD, it's probably the most recent DVD that I've made. It's only about, I'd say, 6 months old. Somebody needs to go to jail because literally thousands of kids die each month needlessly because the medical profession in America, the medical infrastructure, the scientific infrastructure, would rather remain experts of misinformation than saving these kids. Okay? And so, let's go back to the beginning. In the early fall of 1977, I found the first non-human case of cystic fibrosis in a rhesus monkey at the Yerkes Primate Center in Atlanta, Georgia. The Primate Center is administered by the Emery University. Everybody else is on vacation, and of course I'm the new boy on the block kind of holding things down. And many of these monkeys are involved in NASA research, and so it's a very well-respected institution, Yerkes Primate Center, one of, I think, 7 or 8 national primate centers scattered across the United States. And I run into the first non-human case of cystic fibrosis in a monkey. Now, I'm sure it may have happened before, but nobody recognized it, so I recognize it because of all the long history of doing autopsies in animals and people and knowing human disease and animal disease as well as I do. I recognize it as cystic fibrosis. I send out copies of the slides to experts in pathology of cystic fibrosis in Boston, New York, Chicago, Europe. And on their letterheads, they write back and say, oh, yeah, this is a classic case of cystic fibrosis. Where'd you get the slides? I said, well, you'll be pleased to know that this is the first case of non-human cystic fibrosis. This is found in rhesus monkeys at the Yerkes Primate Center. It's an incidental finding. It's a serendipitous finding. An accidental finding. Wasn't part of a research project. And I've also done biopsies of unrelated colony mates of the same age, unrelated biologically, okay, that have no genetically relationship to any of these other 24 babies. Did biopsies of their pancreas, livers, and lungs, and sure enough, they all had cystic fibrosis. So you know it's an environmental problem, not a genetic problem. It turns out that there was a lapse in the feeding program there and gave all of the parents of these monkeys a selenium deficiency. So all these baby monkeys, 25 of them are born with cystic fibrosis. Unrelated, no genetics involved. It's an environmental problem. Got it documented. And I sent the information, of course, to the heads of the departments saying, okay, I want to publish this. And they fired me. They said, Wallach, you must be sniffing glue. Everybody knows that cystic fibrosis is genetic. You can't say it's not genetic. I said, well, don't I get to defend the research as a PhD student does, to defend his research to a committee, to defend their thesis and their research results? No, we'd be laughed out of the university. You got to be kidding me. Get a committee together to ask you questions about a genetic disease to see if it's not a genetic disease. You got to be on your mind. So they fired me. Make a long story short, I wound up going back to school and becoming a naturopathic physician. So now I had 3 doctorates. I have a degree in agriculture. I'm a veterinarian. I have a postdoctoral fellowship in comparative medicine and pathology. And I have a doctorate in naturopathic medicine. Been practicing naturopathic medicine as a primary care physician for 36 years, going on 37 years. And dealing a lot with average diseases, high blood pressure, heart disease, kidney failure, fibromyalgia, lupus, low thyroid, the usual stuff. Alzheimer's disease, other dementias, macular degeneration, periodontal disease, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Bone spurs, kidney stones, you name it, covered the waterfront. But my passion, of course, was to always keep my finger in the pulse of and working with kids with cystic fibrosis. Well, sure enough, I run into a guy who was raised Amish, Marvin Ropp, and Marvin Ropp had gone to the Gulf War and became a Navy SEAL of all things for an Amish kid, and comes back and he's just horrified at the medical industry actually telling the Amish people every disease they had was genetic, and they used them sort of as guinea pigs and slaves, making money because the Amish only pay in cash, and the doctors probably didn't report all their cash income from the Amish. You know how that goes. And so Marvin Rupp was really insane about this. It's just like, these people are crazy. Well, I've been talking about this for years, so I'm glad to have an ally. Thanks for joining me. So anyway, we started going around to the Amish communities to help them out, and it turns out that they have the highest rates of cystic fibrosis and muscular dystrophy and cardiomyopathy, heart disease, all three of which are caused by a deficiency of selenium. Now, people say, well, you're obsessed with selenium. Every disease is caused by selenium. No, there may be 12, 15 diseases caused by a selenium deficiency, but then there's 147 different diseases that are caused by a calcium deficiency. There's 18 diseases that are caused by a copper deficiency, and so on. These nutritional deficiencies have multiple disease causes. Okay? Well, at any rate, I want you to get a hold of the book Epigenetics, Public Enemy Number 1, the CD, the book Rarest Forbidden Cures, and the DVD Somebody Needs to Go to Jail. And you'll learn the cause, prevention, cure of cystic fibrosis, muscular dystrophy, and cardiomyopathy, heart disease. We'll be back with Dead Doctors Don't Lie after these messages.
Numerous studies have shown the link between the intake of antioxidants and disease prevention. Foods and supplements are measured in an ORAC scale. ORAC is an acronym for Oxygen Radical Absorption Capacity. In other words, the ability to remove disease-causing free radicals from the human body. Longevity's Cell Shield RTQ has an ORAC value of 15,800 points per serving. Cell Shield RTQ contains resveratrol, known as an anti-aging compound. Turmeric, known for promoting healthy digestion, brain function, immune system, and cellular longevity. Quercetin, a flavonoid, is known for promoting healthy blood sugar metabolism and healthy lung and cardiovascular function. Remove free radicals from your body with Cell Shield RTQ from Longevity. If you'd like to learn more about nutritional supplementation, call your local Longevity associate. And don't forget to ask about home-based business opportunities.
Okay, Doug, what pearls of wisdom do you have for us?
Well, I've got a news story here from ABC News headline, Avril Lavigne and Lyme disease, your questions answered. And Avril Lavigne is a popular rock singer, and she revealed in an interview in People magazine that she has been diagnosed with Lyme disease that has left her bedridden at times and unable to talk or even move for more than 5 months. They say Lyme disease is caused by a bacterium that's transmitted through tick bites. According to the CDC, about 30,000 people a year are diagnosed with Lyme's disease. They say Lavigne's revelation about her illness stirs up all sorts of questions about Lyme. According to Dr. Richard Besser, he's ABC News' chief medical editor, and so he goes and attempts to answer some social media questions that have been posed about Lyme disease. The first question was, how long does it take for the tick to transmit the disease? According to Besser, he says you have about 36 hours from the time of the bite before you begin getting sick. He said it's not always easy to find the tick, and goes into the different sizes of ticks, all the way down to what we used to call seed ticks, which are, you can barely see them. And they say spending time outdoors in warmer weather, you want to protect yourself by wearing long sleeves and pants and spraying your body and clothing with bug repellent that has at least 20% DEET. And then when you get back, you want to shower and do a tick check on yourself and your pets and your loved ones, and say, what are the tests for Lyme disease? Lyme is usually diagnosed through a blood test, according to the CDC, but they don't recommend getting the test unless you have clear symptoms. That it's important to avoid misdiagnosis and the treatment when it is possible that the true cause of the illness could be something else, the agency cautioned. And according to Besser, he says we definitely do need better tests for Lyme disease. And he said, does everyone with Lyme disease get the bullseye rash? They say about 80% of people who get Lyme will get the larger rash as time goes on. They said you have about a month after the rash appears to take antibiotics and avoid some of the more persistent symptoms. And the final question posed was, is there such a thing as post-treatment Lyme disease? According to the CDC, about 10 to 20% of people who are treated early may get post-treatment Lyme disease. After a 2 to 4 week course of antibiotics, people with the condition will still have lingering Lyme symptoms, including fatigue, pain, and muscle aches. Symptoms can last for up to 6 months. CDC goes on to say that chronic Lyme disease is sometimes used to describe symptoms in people who have no evidence of a current or past Lyme infection, but the agency prefers to avoid this term because there isn't enough evidence to support its true scientific diagnosis. And that brings me to something that happens on this show quite a bit, and we get people that call up, yeah, I've got Lyme's disease, and, I've been being treated for 12 years. And as you say, if your doctor's been treating you for Lyme's disease for 12 years, you need a new doctor.
And the doctor needs to go to jail for fraud. And, of course, as they say, probably 50% of the diagnoses, maybe more, particularly west of the Mississippi River, probably 75 or 80% west of the Mississippi River being diagnosed with Lyme disease is a crime. And the reason is, of course, doctors don't like to sit there for 20 minutes, 30 minutes talking with somebody who's miserable and they're complaining about fever and lack of energy and, nondescript muscle aches and all this kind of stuff and rashes. And they do a blood test and they say, well, you don't have any antibodies against Lyme disease, but you have all the symptoms, so we'll just bill your insurance company for Lyme disease, and there is a code for that, so they'll pay me, and, here's some feel-good pills, and see you in 2 weeks. And so as many as 50 to 75 or even 80% of the diagnoses of chronic Lyme disease is a false diagnosis. Doctors just want to get that patient out of there so he can get on to see other patients. Now, Lyme disease is caused by a bacteria that's related to syphilis. You can kill syphilis in 2 weeks with penicillin. You can kill Lyme disease bacteria in 2 weeks with antibiotics. So if somebody has it for 10, 12 years, they ain't got it. Thank you for bringing that one up, Doug. We'll be back. More truth, justice, and the longevity when dead doctors don't lie for these messages.
If you're up several times every night to go to the bathroom, have frequent urination during the day, feel like you have to urinate, but then have difficulty getting a stream going, have leaking, dribbling, or urgency to the point a restroom must always be nearby, you may have an enlarged prostate. According to the National Kidney Foundation, by age 60, more than half of all men have an enlarged prostate, or BPH. By age 85, that number is 90%. According to the American Urological Association, Ultimate ProstFX from Longevity has been developed for nutritional support of the prostate gland. ProstFX promotes prostate health and supports healthy prostate function. Stop sprinting to the restroom and avoid those embarrassing moments with ProstFX from Longevity. If you'd like to learn more about nutritional supplementation, call your local Longevity associate, and don't forget to ask about home-based business opportunities.
With increasing rates of osteoporosis, it's becoming more and more evident that most Americans have low blood levels of calcium. Some would say,
I get all the calcium I need from dairy products.
Unfortunately, that's just not true. Besides, most dairy products are homogenized and can contain steroids and antibiotics that kill off good bacteria in the digestive system. Not to mention, the human body needs magnesium to make use of dietary calcium. That's why Longevity developed OsteoFX Plus, containing bioavailable plant-derived forms of vitamin D3, calcium, magnesium, zinc, copper, and glucosamine sulfate. OsteoFX Plus is formulated to support healthy bones and joints. Not to mention, OsteoFX Plus tastes great, unlike other products that taste like chalk or dirt. If you'd like to learn more about nutritional supplementation, call your local Longevity associate, and don't forget to ask about home-based business opportunities.
You've listened to Physician
Gold. It's like nothing else on Earth. From the Romans through the Renaissance, from the Industrial Age to the Space Age, gold has weathered the test of time. For 6,000 years, gold has remained the ultimate store of wealth. According to the World Gold Council and the U.S. Mint, demand is at an all-time high. The stage is being set for the reemergence of gold as the common-sense alternative to a fiat paper currency that gets weaker every day. Midas Resources is proud to offer the hard-hitting report that arms you with the truth you need to protect you and your family from the Fed's plans for your hard-earned money. Don't gamble with your future. Call Midas Resources today and ask for your free copy of As Good as Gold. Call 1-800-686-2237 for the report the Fed hopes you'll never see. As Good as Gold can be yours by calling 800-686-2237. If you have ever thought about owning gold, you must read this report. Call Midas today at 800-686-2237.
Okay, Doug, let's go to callers.
All right, let's head to Ontario, Canada. And Jim, you're on with Dr. Wallach.
Hello, Jim. You're on the air.
Hi, Dr. Wallach. I'm so glad that I heard you for about a week on the Benny Hinn show, and I wish it would have happened 30 years ago. Anyway.
Okay, well, let's see if we can't help you now.
I'm calling about my wife. She's been on the products for quite a while with myself, but lately she's got sort of a chest pain and breathing heavy, and she's like wheezing, you know. I wonder if there's anything I have to take in addition of the products with the cake.
Well, first of all, if she has chest pain, I would certainly get an EKG to find out, make sure she doesn't have a heart problem. It could be something as simple as asthma. Okay? And you say she's been taking products for a while. What kind of products is she taking?
Well, she went to the doctor a while ago, and he listened to her lungs, and he says, seemed like maybe you have a little bit of an infection, but he says it's not bad. He says he gave some antibiotics, but I don't know, it doesn't help.
So he didn't seem to be concerned about her heart.
No.
Okay.
No.
All right.
Well, she's using the tangerine and the OsteoFX and
the EFAs.
Yes, EFA, yes, because she had a couple of strokes.
Yeah. So okay, that's useful information. Now, how much does your wife weigh?
About 180.
180, okay. And does she have any skin problems, any eczema or dermatitis or psoriasis?
No.
Does she have any history of bowel problems, any constipation or diarrhea?
Yeah, she's been constipated at times, yes. Yeah.
Okay, sure. Okay, Shar?
Yes.
Okay, here she is. She's wheezing. She has chest pain. The doctor says, she might have a chest infection. He wasn't too concerned about her heart, but she does have a history of some constipation. 180 pounds. What do you think is going on here?
She's got a gluten intolerance for sure.
Yeah, I think you're right. Gluten intolerance. What would you do for a 180-pound gal? Sounds like she's taking the two healthy... Well, she should be taking two healthy brain and heart packs. But what else would you give her because she has the wheezing and constipation? What would you give her?
For the wheezing and the constipation?
Yeah.
She could take, for the constipation, she could take the herbal rainforest at night.
Perfect, yeah. Take a tablespoon of that, which is a half ounce of herbal rainforest. So 1 quart's going to last a month. That's going to help her with the constipation, give her trace minerals as well as the 14 cleansing herbs. And what would you give her for the wheezing?
Give her the killer biotics.
Okay, killer biotic. In case there is an infection, they're absolutely 3 twice a day, 2 bottles a month. But she's going to get 2 healthy brain and heart packs, so she'll be able to get 3 of the EFA pluses twice a day, 3 of the EFAs twice a day. That's going to help her if she does have asthma. Give us a call every couple of weeks, Jim, and let us know what's going on. Add the new things that Shar suggested. We'll be back with you in 2 weeks. We'll be back after these messages.
Hi, this is Steve Sanchez, and based on a recent study, it was found that 57 million Americans had legal issues over the last 12 months, but only 60% of those studied sought out the services of a lawyer. Why? In a nutshell, affordability. Well, my friends at Legal Shield have created a solution that can help you not if, but when you need an attorney. For as little as $17 per month, Legal Shield will provide you unlimited access to qualified attorneys at an accomplished law firm for advice and counsel on legal issues, no matter how serious or trivial. For over 40 years and with 1.4 million families across North America, Legal Shield can help you, the loyal GCN listener. Representatives are standing by now to answer your questions, so call them now at 1-855-340-SAVE. That's 1-855-340-7283, or visit them at lsprotection.com. That's lsprotection.com.
Results will vary from case to case.
Most people know that drinking pure high alkaline pH water is the most important factor in maintaining high energy and vibrant health. Most experts agree that the water you drink should be at a pH level of 8 or higher. AlkaVision Plasma pH drops combine a unique formula of the most alkaline minerals. Using plasma pH drops is the best way to make your water alkaline to help you get rid of acid and regain your health and energy. Simply put 10 drops in the water you drink to raise the pH to a healthy level. Alkalizing water helps your body rid itself of acidic waste and increases the oxygen content of your body. Disease organisms like bacteria, viruses, and cancer cannot survive in an alkaline high pH environment. Order your bottle of AlkaVision Plasma pH drops now by going directly to alkavision.com. That's ALKA Vision.com. Or call 269-409-1776. 269-409-1776 today.
This alert just came in. This special announcement is for business owners and leaders of organizations who've been waiting for the right time to build. General Steel has made it impossible to wait any longer with rock-bottom prices that could save you thousands. That's right, General Steel, America's leader in pre-engineered structures, is offering buildings at prices you will never see again. Don't miss these prices. A 50 by 100 for $35,000. You heard right. That's 5,000 square feet for $35,000. Manufacturers, if you need a larger building, try a 100 by 100 commercial building for $129,000. You can't afford to rent with these prices. Imagine a 70 by 100-foot church building for under $69,000. With the economy improving and interest rates still at historic lows, you can't afford to wait. So call 866-91-STEEL. Lock in your price now. Call 866-91-STEEL. That's 866-917-8335.
Let's head to New York, and Elizabeth, you're on with Dr. Wallach.
Hello, Elizabeth. You're on the air.
Yes, thank you very much.
Yes, ma'am.
Dr. Wallach, I'm calling you on behalf of someone who cannot speak for himself because it is a 14-year-old child who weighs 50, that's 50 pounds. He's been in a wheelchair all of his life. Through complications of his childbirth, he was diagnosed at the time with cerebral palsy, the cord being wrapped around the neck twice. And the parents were told by the doctors at that time, well, there is nothing that we could do. The travesty here, which is the purpose for my call, is that for 13 of these 14 years, he has been given the antacid drug Prilosec twice a day.
Why was that?
Food. Well, it's very interesting, but in my research in the last few weeks, since I learned about this, I've discovered that there is such a thing as pediatric acid reflux drugs, and Prilosec is actually one of the ones that they resort to.
So you're saying he was having reflux problems?
Well, yes. I wasn't there at that time 13 years ago, but that's how it was described to me. He's having some acid reflux problems, so let's just give him Prilosec. And apparently they're giving this to children all the time.
Yeah.
All the time.
Well, of course, the doctors who do that should be put in jail. All right? Somebody needs to go to jail. That's in my DVD called Somebody Needs to Go to Jail. So you need to get the family of this kid, Somebody Needs to Go to Jail, the DVD. And it describes stuff like this. Cerebral palsy is a congenital birth defect. It's caused by mother missing things, folic acid and zinc, in early pregnancy when the brain and spinal cord are forming. And the part of the brain that's primarily affected is the cerebellum, which is the size of a small tangerine in a 6-pound baby when they're born. If there's a 10% underdevelopment of that cerebellum, they will walk like Charlie Chaplin. If there's a 25% underdevelopment, they actually will drag a leg and flop their arms around. Very typical. Anybody can observe they have cerebral palsy. If they have a 50% underdevelopment of the cerebellum, they'll be in a wheelchair because they just can't coordinate movement. And, of course, there are kids that are catastrophically affected. They have 90% underdeveloped of the cerebellum, the size of a large grape, and the only thing they can move are their eyes. And these things, at this point, nobody knows how to put the genie back in the bottle. And eventually we may have stem cells or even cerebellum transplants or so forth. But these kids have a normal heart usually, and normal liver and kidneys and so forth. Their thinking part of their brains, they can actually work things like computers and do all that kind of stuff. So we want to maximize the genetic capacity of this kid for the things that he can do. Cerebral palsy itself, there may probably at this point nothing much we can do for that, but we can accentuate all the good stuff. Certainly needs to get off of the Prilosec. Now, Char, what would you give a 50-pound kid who is immobilized in a wheelchair? What would you give him as a basic program?
I give him a healthy brain and heart pack, and he'd take half of it, every month.
Okay, well, hang on here, Elizabeth. We'll be back, and Char and I will be back and give you a complete program. So get your pen and paper out. We'll give you a diet for the kid, and we'll actually give you a program to maximize everything that he'll be able to do. We'll be back after these messages.
You've listened to physician and veterinarian Dr. Joel Wallach help many people on the Dead Doctors Don't Lie talk radio program. You've also heard hundreds of people tell how Dr. Wallach and Youngevity products have changed their lives. If you're now convinced that Dr. Wallach is onto something and want to try Youngevity's premium quality products for yourself, we can connect you with a distributor that serves your local area. Simply call our special helpline voicemail at 313-444-3444 888-443-3463. Again, that number is 313-444-3463. Call right now and leave your name, telephone number, or email address, and we will see to it that the right person contacts you shortly. Remember the phone number. Again, it's 313-444-3463. Again, that number is 313-444-3463. Call now to change your life. That's 313-444-3463.
Did you know every woman will layer on 14 pounds of toxins in use of cosmetics alone? Unfortunately, top brands women rely on to look their best may be hiding harsh chemicals that have been linked to cancer, organ failure, and birth defects. Longevity Minerals, an all-natural beauty line that heals your skin from the inside out. Try it today at www.morethanhighhills.com. That's www.morethanhighhills.com.
Hi, this is Ted Anderson. Have you ever wondered why banks, stockbrokers, investment advisors won't talk about gold IRAs? They've been available since 1986, yet the financial industry won't recognize the value of gold for your retirement. Gold has outperformed paper investments, yet no word about IRAs. If you would like to have gold for your retirement, call 800-686-2237. Don't get left behind by rising inflation and low returns. Call 800-686-2237. Secure your future and call 1-800-686-2237.
Okay, Doug, we're going right back to New York. Elizabeth. Okay, Shar, what would you do for this kid to replace the Prilosec, the anti-reflux drug?
He needs our enzymes.
Yeah, he needs the ultimate enzymes. I'd have him take one a day. One before each meal, so it'd be 3 a day. So one bottle is going to last him about 2 months of the ultimate enzymes. And I'd have him take it like 2 minutes before each meal with a couple ounces of water. And then I would also, what multiple would you give him? I think you said it before we went to the break. Say it again.
I said I would give him the Healthy Brain and Heart Pack, but he only needs half of it.
Yeah, and so at 50 pounds, I'd go ahead and give him one Healthy Brain and Heart Pack, which would last 2 months. Give him a half a dose a day, and I would break that half a dose in half, so he's getting essentially a quarter of a dose at breakfast, quarter of a dose at dinner time. Start him there. And I would get him an extra bottle of selenium so he could actually have 6 a day, 2 at breakfast, 2 at lunch, 2 at dinner, the selenium. I'd also, what would you give him extra for enhancing his neurotransmitters for memory and cognition and all that kind of stuff, Shar? They're little pea-sized soft gel capsules.
Oh, these Smart FX.
Smart FX, there you go. Okay. And I'd have him take 3 of those twice a day. That's 2 bottles a month, and that's going to help, again, because that's the raw material. The DHAs and EPAs are the raw materials for the brain to make neurotransmitters for memory, cognition, problem-solving, socialization. And let's see here. I would also throw in some glucogel. Give him, 1 bottle of glucogel a month. He can have 3 of those twice a day. It's going to help with his joints and so forth. All this will help his muscles and so on. And he should have access to a pool where he can kind of puddle around in a pool or something like that, or a hot tub, where he can be in water for a while and do some, light exercise in water, so he's not having to lift weights and go long distances or anything of that nature. And we can improve things. Now, these kids can be fertile. He can fall in love and get married and father children. Has nothing to do with infertility and that kind of thing. And just because he's disabled from a muscular standpoint doesn't mean that he has to be disabled. He can be a genius. He can work computers, write books. He can be one of our leaders in the longevity business by actually working with kids that have disabilities. We're always looking for kids with disabilities who really want to take the lead, become a student of the information, help other kids that may have more catastrophic diseases than he has, and even ones with less catastrophic diseases, and be a helper, be a leader. And so you might talk to him and see if he's interested in playing that role. Okay, Doug, let's go to callers.
All right, let's head to Waco, Texas. And Scott, you're on with Dr. Wallach.
Well, Scott, you're on the air.
Yes, I'm calling about my wife who she wasn't sleeping well for a long time and has had symptoms of depression and anxiety. And the doctors put her on sleep meds and psychiatric meds, and she's become dependent on those meds, and it's taking some of the supplements and eliminated the 10 bad foods.
Sure. Well, how long has she been on the supplements?
for about a month.
Okay, have you seen any difference?
Well, not really, and the doctors are telling her not to take any supplements.
Well, I'd fire those doctors. Okay, well, how much does she weigh?
She's 110.
Okay, so she's a small lady.
She's taking HGH, Sweet Ease, Ultimate Daily, Selenium, but not in the right amounts, I don't think.
Okay, is she taking any of the EFAs or the Smart FX?
Yes, right.
Okay, good. Now, let me ask you another question here. Does she have any history of skin problems, any eczema, dermatitis, psoriasis, or rough, dry skin on her arms or legs?
No, she doesn't. No.
Okay, does she have any history of respiratory problems, asthma, bronchitis?
Yeah, she's had pleurisy problems.
Okay, what about bowel problems? Any chronic constipation or diarrhea?
No.
Okay, you guys have any children?
Yes.
Okay. Do they have any health problems, any respiratory problems, any asthma, any skin problems, any bowel problems?
No, but no.
Okay, they're perfectly healthy. How old are the kids?
36 and 25.
Okay, they're both males or females or what?
Males, yeah.
Okay. All right, so they seem to be perfectly healthy.
Yeah, she's trying to figure out a way to get off the meds.
Sure. Okay. Well, hang on. Okay, Char, what would you do for this lady who's been taking the supplements? There's obviously a few things missing here. To her program at 110 pounds, what would you add to help her with her depression and also with sleeping?
Well, with the sleeping, she could take the Sleepies, and with the depression, she could take the de-stress.
Perfect. Okay, well, what I would do, as Char says, Scott, add to your wife's program. I'd give her 2 bottles of the de-stress. That'll allow her to have 3 de-stress twice a day, or 2 with each meal, a total of 6 a day. And then I would also, as Char says, the Sleepies, I'd go ahead and give her 3 of those, maybe a half hour or hour before bedtime, with a glass of water. And then I would also throw in another ounce of the Osteo. Get her another bottle of Osteo. She can take an ounce before bed along with her Sleepies capsules, which are a blend of herbs that make you drowsy and help with sleep. And, of course, the calcium will absolutely help her sleep. Is she on a gluten-free diet?
Yes, she has been, yes.
Okay, everybody in the family, including yourself, the dog, the cat, the bird, and everybody else?
Yeah, I've been for years, yes.
Okay, good. So, yeah, we want to do that. And then give us a call after you add the de-stress capsules, the Sleepies, and the extra calcium. And if she starts sleeping better and she feels better about things, let's see if we can have the people who wrote the prescriptions begin to reduce her medication. When you start dealing with depression and brain problems, I like the person who wrote the prescription to be the one, because they have the examination, they have the charts and everything, and they've seen the patient eyeball to eyeball, so I'd like them to reduce her medication based on a re-examination. But it shouldn't, take long, a couple of months on this program. You should be able to begin her to wean her off of one of those pharmaceuticals at a time. Don't try to do them both. Don't do them cold turkey. And if the doctor who wrote the prescription refuses to do that, find another doctor who says, yeah, I'll help you. You ask him a question, will you help my wife reduce her medication if an examination shows that she can safely do that? Okay? Give us a call every 2 weeks. Let us know what's going on. Okay, Doug, we got time to start another one?
Yeah, let's head to Bryant College Station, Texas. And Jane, you're on with Dr. Wallach.
Jane, you're on the air.
Yes, hi, Dr. Wallach.
Hi.
I have a 7-year-old granddaughter, weighs 57 pounds. In August, she was taken off of gluten. In November, she was taken off of eggs. She takes classic EFA pluses, and she's on 50 billion probiotics. She has the psoriasis, or the redness, rough red skin on the lower legs and ankles. They reduced the probiotics a month ago, and they noticed that the redness and the roughness came back on the ankles, so they went back using the same dosage of probiotics.
Okay, now, has this child had any respiratory problems, any bronchitis or asthma?
No.
Any
constipation? When she was born, though, she had that where the valve shut off, and they had to do surgery on her. I can't remember.
The valve shut off. What valve? Body's got hundreds of valves.
No, she couldn't take any formula. No formula went down. They did an emergency procedure on her, young children.
Okay, so her esophagus was closed. Okay, well, hang on. We'll be back after these messages.
Fish has been thought of as a brain food for eons, but it's not the fish that's key. It's actually the essential fatty acids, EFAs, or omega-3s found in fish, called essential because they're necessary for good health and your body can't make them. So they must be consumed through diet or supplementation. Youngevity has developed the perfect supplement in SmartFX, an acronym for Sustained Memory and Retrieval Time, a concentration of DHA and EPA, both members of the omega-3 family, supporting neural path function and cardiovascular health for optimal mental concentration, awareness, focus, and agility. If you've got a mentally demanding career, you're a student crunching for the big test, or just want to maintain health for a sense of well-being, try SmartFX from Youngevity. If you'd like to learn more about nutritional supplementation, call your local Youngevity associate, and don't forget to ask about home-based business opportunities.
Hey, if you're like me, your life is hectic. You don't know where you're going to be next. Between kids and family and in-laws and work and traffic and everything else that's driving me crazy right now, my life is insane. I bet your life's insane as well. When do we have time to get every single nutrient we need to be healthy? When? Well, I've got a tip for you. Take a product called Pollen Burst. It's so simple, even I can do it. All you have to do is open the package, pour it in water, mix it up, and bam, you're ready to go. It tastes great. It's not one of those medicine-tasting things. It tastes great, low in calories, helps curb your appetite, gives you natural energy that doesn't let you crash, gives you your vitamins, minerals, nutrients, everything from the plant world. And I got to tell you, for a busy person like me or a busy person like you, we need simple, we need good. Pollen Burst is your answer. Tastes great. Try it, and you'll feel better.
Call your local Youngevity distributor to find out how Pollen Burst can make you feel better. And don't forget to ask about home-based business opportunities.
By now, you may have heard a bit about Bitcoins, but did you know Bitcoins are now over an $8.5 billion market? And did you know that over 65,000 businesses now accept Bitcoins? Listen, if you're already earning Bitcoins or trying to make money in the Bitcoin market, you've got to know bidbit.co. Why? Because bidbit.co is where you can easily receive Bitcoins by selling and auctioning off your own personal items or promote business products and services for Bitcoins. You heard right. Whether personal or business, you can now buy, sell, and auction your products and services quickly, easily, and securely for Bitcoin at bidbit.co, the first and only marketplace website to offer BidBit Escrow, a proprietary technology which gives buyers and sellers security and peace of mind because all transactions are protected. Start today. It's free to join, free to post, free to auction, and free to bid at bidbit.co. Buy, sell, bid, or auction everything Bitcoin. That's www.bidbit.co. bidbit.co.
We're back with Dead Doctors Don't Lie on the ZBS Radio Network. Dr. Joel Wallach here for Youngevity and 90 for Life Crusade. And Doug, we're going right back to Texas and Jane. Okay, so we have a 7-year-old granddaughter, weighs 57 pounds. She's got a rash or eczema or psoriasis or something going on in her lower legs, and maybe some history of constipation, and nothing else that you can think of, right?
Pyloric stenosis as a baby.
Okay, stenosis, and this is the valve from her esophagus down into her stomach?
Well, it's from the small intestine to the
from the stomach to the duodenum?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Yeah, pyloric stenosis is called.
What is it?
Pyloric stenosis.
Oh, pyloric. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Okay. And so, yeah, that's the exit part of the stomach. Okay. So, at any rate, Shar, what would you do here for this 57-pound girl who has some kind of skin thing on her lower legs and constipation? What do you think she's got?
Well, I definitely get her on a gluten-free diet. I mean,
yep.
She might as well.
There you go. And is this granddaughter, she the daughter of one of your two sons?
Yes. She doesn't have constipation.
Okay.
She does not have constipation.
Mm-hmm. Okay, just a skin problem.
She is my son's daughter.
Yeah, okay. Now, does her mother have any problems? Does her mother have any health problems? I guarantee you she does. You need to ask her what they are, because she's transmitted this.
She just had an ovary removed.
Yeah, I'm not too excited about that. I want to know about skin and respiration, bowels. So you need to ask those questions. Okay, here we go. Okay. We got to move on here. And so what would you give this 57-pound girl who's probably got a gluten intolerance from her mother, which is Jane's daughter-in-law, okay? And we don't know everything we need to know, but what would you do? You said a gluten-free diet, okay? Mm-hmm. What supplement program would you give her?
Well, I get her on a healthy brain and heart pack, give her half every month.
Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah. Get her a healthy brain and heart pack, and that would last her 2 months. Give her a half a dose every day, and which would quarter of a dose twice a day. And no fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no gluten, no wheat, brown oats, and everybody in the household, including your son, just out of sympathy for the daughter, okay, and then the mama and dog and cat and bird and fish, mother-in-law, anybody living in that household has got to be gluten-free because this kid is very, very sensitive, okay? And it'll save that child an enormous amount of problems later on down the life if you do this. And let's start there. And, of course, we want to hear from you in 2 weeks, and you might want to ask your daughter-in-law if she does have any health problems related to bowel, skin, or respiration, either now or if her sisters and brothers have any. Okay, Doug, how much time do we have?
Just a little over a minute here.
Oh, just over a minute. Okay, let's let Shar take it. Shar, this gluten intolerance thing is getting so egregious. I mean, even our Go foods, we have about, I'd say, 25% of the Go foods, which have a 25-year shelf life, are gluten-free, and we're working on the rest of the Go foods, hoping to make as many as we can, the very, full meals and the flours and biscuit mix and all that kind of stuff. We're trying to make it to almost all gluten-free, so we're working on that really hard. But what would you do for somebody who's gluten intolerant? I mean, you and I are both gluten intolerant. What do you do to make your life simple?
Well, you have to get on a gluten-free diet. You don't have a choice.
Yep.
I mean, because you're ruining your intestines. The only way people keep asking me, what is gluten? And I just describe it that it's stuff that your body can't break down, and it's like broken glass going through your intestines, and it tears it all up. And until you quit eating it, you're just going to have torn up intestines.
Yeah. Well, gluten is the protein from wheat, barley, rye, and oats, and it's kind of like when you have a gluten intolerance. It's not an allergy to wheat or oats. It is an intolerance, kind of like when you get a contact dermatitis from poison ivy. You're going to get a contact enteritis from eating glutens from wheat, barley, rye, and oats, or drinking it. It could be beer, it could be bourbon, it could be scotch, it could be meatballs being held together with breadcrumbs and cracker crumbs. We actually have a CD. What's the name of that CD, Shar? It tells you all the hidden places. Serial Killers. Get Serial Killers and learn where all the hidden places are for gluten and make your life better. Thank you, Shar. Super job as usual. Thank you so much, Doug and Billy. Superlative job as usual. God bless each and every one of you. Great testimony today. God bless our troops. God bless our Navy SEALs. And God bless America.
Don't complain about your cable bill going up and up and up. Do something about it. Grab a pencil and jot down this special number, 1-855-905-MY-TV. The more cable TV rates go up, the better digital satellite TV looks. Say goodbye to the cable guy and get more of your favorite channels in 100% digital quality for less money. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. Sign up for packages starting as low as $19.99, and there's no equipment to buy. You get free HD TV upgrade, a free DVR upgrade, and free professional installation. You control what you watch when you watch it. Record your favorite shows. Pause and rewind live TV. Even skip the commercials. Watch local channels too. At just $19.99, what are you waiting for? Pull out your major credit or debit card. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV. Say goodbye to the cable guy. Cut costs and get more. 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV.